Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, May the 20th. So it's just been crazy, crazy, crazy time in the market lately. As you know, if you're watching at all, we're being primarily driven by the Nasdaq and the tech companies as we have done flipped a switch pretty much basically when we went into lockdown with the tech companies supplying us with Zoom meetings and e-sign documents and all that kind of stuff, and Amazon delivering to our door and all that kind of stuff. So it appears that the brick and mortar, I was going to say retail, but businesses for that matter may be less going forward, I guess. I don't know. It still remains to be seen, but that's what's happening right now, and that's what's driving the market. We've got a very narrow, it's not a broad-based rally at all. We've got, the NASDAQ and primarily the big tech, Facebook, et cetera, Amazon, driving us up. So it makes it more and more dicey as we go up. So let's look at, in order to kind of figure out where we might be going, let's look at where we have been. And we'll start with the S&P. This is the S&P for today. So let's take a look. And as you can see, we really today, it was pretty much a chop fest. I mean, basically, here's where we opened, and here's where we closed. Although this was about 50 points higher than where we closed last night. Let me pull this down. We had a pretty good sell-off there yesterday on the Moderna virus, which is a whole nother conversation, because as we know, let me back this up a couple days. If you did not see this, it's well worth looking at. So as you can see here, again, this is the SPX. This is when, is it here? When Moderna came out and said great results in their clinical trials and everything's great, and and the market's ripping. And here is where, I don't know if it came out or the results are questioned, and there turned out to be there was only 8 people in the test group, or that they had reported the results on, and I don't know all the details. I'm not in the stock, so I didn't really pay that much attention to what was going on there, but that gave us a spook that maybe the vaccine is not as readily available, or as close, put it that way, as we thought it might be. But it didn't seem to phase Wall Street one bit in the least. We ripped back up here. And let me show you in the ES, because it's easier to see on the ES in the overnight action. If you look, this was the, well, and let me even go back a couple days. This was the overnight action last night. The sell-off, a pretty good, hard sell-off on the day, and then it was just nothing but buying all day long. This is algos buying. They're just programmed just to, buy. And look, algos, big gap up. I think that was that Moderna news when that came out. It is this kind of long, consistent buying is, it appears very algo driven and all that kind of stuff, which, for us regular retail traders, you can't fight that, right? Unfortunately. And also, it makes it much tougher when we're not dealing with reality. We all know the difference between Main Street and Wall Street and all that kind of stuff. But if you look at this, and I'll get back to where I was going with this, we have been off the low here when the lockdown happened and everything started falling apart, and now we're ripping back up. There's a 50%, there's 618. I had been saying in all these videos that I was looking for snowline there. We got there, tagged it, failed, came back up here, and this time we have actually gone through it. And this thing just looks like it wants to keep pushing up to our tree line there at 31.35, and then we're just a hop, skip, and a jump from our all-time high, and we're even closer on the Nasdaq. I mean, we're within a couple of hundred points. I think 300 points or something like that of the all-time high in the Nasdaq, which is just mind-blowing. Excuse me. I had been saying that we're going to consolidate here. This has been going on for a while. We've been chopping back and forth, and what was going to happen was probably, or what I expected to happen, was going to be a break one with the other, and I actually thought we would break to the downside with a target of 2650 there on our fire line, and at the moment we are breaking to the upside. And it's simply based on it's really not as much on the vaccine as it is the Fed. The Fed continues to say, "Don't worry, we'll just keep printing money and buying, as much as we need. There is no limit to what we can do, etc." And I saw an article today saying that was all smoke and mirrors, and we all know it is. It makes it very, very treacherous to take any long-term stance. So therefore, I've narrowed my time frame down, and I'm trading really, really small time frames and day trades and weekly trades, things like that. Because we could just as easily, from this point, we could just as easily be here or here, and it is, to me, is a total coin flip. I mean, there is no edge here, so therefore I'm not hedged right now. I'm super light on my positions, and I'm assuming that we come down here, but I want to see a break in this trend. I want to see some, some kind of negative news. There's some China kind of tariff news out. There's not great news on the vaccine, but what we do have is the Fed pushing the gas pedal to the floor and telling us not to worry. The economy's great. We all know it's not, but you don't want to fight that. So don't be short this market, right? Until it becomes clear that it's time to short it. And right now is not that time. So that being said, I'm going to continue to stay light. I am bearish mentally, but I'm uncommitted either way. I've only got a couple of positions on, a handful of small positions. I'm thinking that we do this. I just don't know when, and I don't know how fast. Is it gonna, will it take us a long time to get down there? Or are we gonna drop straight down? Or are we just gonna keep on grinding? So, and I honestly don't know. So when you don't know, when in doubt, get out and sit on cash and wait until there's a little more clear advantage to go one way or the other, because we don't have it right now. So with that, I'm going to wind it up. I will say this. I expect that I did a little trade here. I set up a trade in the main room looking for 3,000 on Friday. Now, whether we get that or not, I have no idea. But that's about as far as I can see out as a couple days to a week maybe. I will, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I do, but I will be setting up something for the downside, and I'll probably target 2650. That's my intention, but I'm just not doing it yet now that we've broken out of this upside, because we could go higher first. So I hope that helps. There's no individual stocks really to speak of that I'm interested in doing much with. I mean, it's interesting to look at Amazon and some of the others, Shopify or whatever. But I'm not doing anything with them, so we'll just stick with the indexes for now. So hope this helps, makes sense, and I will see you guys at the next update, and be careful out there. Thanks.